Hello and welcome back. It's been a while since I last went live, and so the reason for that is I felt like I was kind of stuck in a loop of just doing small incremental updates. And really, what I wanted to get to is the idea of getting to a vision driven development. Right. So, if you recall, what we're trying to do here is build out the Oasis as it is in the book, with everything where you can get into the world, you have coins that you can send around to other people. And we want to get to the point where we basically can build out this entire vision. Now, what we did get running is we have gotten transfers up running. We have a server where we can log into. We have it such that you can have two people logging into the same server and one sending coin to the other one by just being in proximity. And all of this is happening on the Realo network. So that in itself is a huge win. And it's not taking us long. So we spent about 8 days, half an hour each day roughly, to accomplish this. But the problem is we want this to be more focused. We want it to be driven by a bigger vision. And so to give you an idea of what I'm talking about here, you can basically think of this in the following way. Right. We are here, and that is our starting point. Let's just add some text here. We're just going to place that one. Oh, that was the wrong one. We're moving. I'm still getting used to this program. Okay, I am clearly not as used to this as I would want to be. Let's see. Interesting. Okay, so I'm screwing a bit up here. Let's just try that again. Let's see. Delete that one. Add a new text. Yeah, now the right one is moving. So we're here. And where we want to get to. Okay. And so this is where we want to be. Up here. Oh, bloody hell. This is more difficult to use than I imagined, this software. Let's just... Okay, there you go. Right. And so going from where we want to be to, or from where we are to where we want to be, you can imagine that as being a straight line. But in reality, development functions like this, that you do a little bit, then you go this way, then you end up here, and maybe you take a huge step that way, and you get up here, get a little bit backwards, a little bit up. And typically you don't get to exactly where you want to be because some of this is super fuzzy. So eventually you'll get up here, right? And so this is basically what we want to figure out how to do. So we want to define our vision of things. So this is the vision we have up here. And then the state of the system down here. And so the real question we need to figure out is how can we do this in a way that's as autonomous as possible? So we basically want to define a vision and then leave it for the AI just to build everything out. So we don't have to do anything. That's the whole point of the singularity. And so if that doesn't work, the singularity has failed and we still have a job and all of that, which I was kind of getting used to the idea of not having a job and just doing whatever I want while AI is making the world a better place. Or maybe not, who knows? Anyway, so this would be a vision-driven approach. What we have done so far is we've started out at some point and we've basically just done a random walk based on what do we think is the next step. Now, the problem with that is that we are not guaranteed that we will end up getting anywhere we want to be. And that means that we need to try to add some more direction to the things that we're doing. And so I've been working on, first of all, formalizing the ACE framework slightly more compared to what we had last time, and putting it into an app that we can use. And so Where we are today is that the new app is, let me swap over here, is here. So this is the new version of OneUp Code. It's no longer just a terminal application, but instead this is a desktop application. And we have this concept of work streams where I have the chat here and I have all of the things in the side here with tickets, task document, and so on and so forth. And so what we can do is we could create a new ticket here. If I just go ahead and press new ticket and we'll say work out the next steps. Well, actually, let's try to do a small detail. Yeah, okay. Before we get to the point of actually defining a vision, I think we'll do that tomorrow or maybe the day after. But I want to show you what this software can actually do. And so if I now say the next step in this app is we want to upgrade this to use version 0.2 of Rialo. And we create the ticket here, and normally this should show up. Oh, why does I have a filter on here for MVP. Let's just, yeah, there you go. I saw it right there. Where did it go? There. Now, the way that OneUp Code works now is that we can press start work stream. And what this will do is will ask us what repository do we want to use for this. We'll use the Oasis repository. Then it will create a work tree for us, which we're working in, which is super handy for making sure that we can work on multiple features at the same time. Then when we enter this work stream, we get our agent view up here. You see you can pick your client. You can choose between all of the ones that we have. You can put this always on so that you don't have to answer questions. If you don't care about your computer, you can do that. Otherwise, it has a sandboxing functionality so that we can run all of our tools inside of Docker while the main agent is running outside of Docker. And this is super handy to make sure that that we basically don't destroy our system. Then over here, we have a few different things. So first of all, we always have the ticket at hand. This is very, very handy in making sure that we have all of the context that we need. So if we'd written a more comprehensive ticket here, we would have all of that context available for the agent. We also have task documents. We'll see in just a bit. Well, we have actually seen this in the past. So these are the ACE framework documents that are now nicely being arranged into this folder we have here, and you'll be able to see what the content is of them. Then we have this managed content or context. So, sorry. We have this managed context, which allows us to create a specific context in order to make sure that the AI has everything it needs. And so you see, this is basically a template where it has some general instructions, but then it checks, is there any ticket ID? If there is a ticket ID, we're going to tell it, okay, what are we working on? What's the ticket ID? What is the branch? If there is a ticket description, we're going to add the ticket description and so on and so forth. Then go to the other side, you can see a rendered version of this, what this actually looks like and what the agent will see. This is a super easy way for us to manage our context and make sure that we have the relevant context for what we are trying to do. Okay. View plan is just the plan that the agent will come up with. That's not relevant at this point, but what we can do now is we can go here and we can ask the agent, we need to upgrade the Oasis to use Rialo version 0.2. Could you do this and make sure to use the ACE framework for it? Okay. And so what we're doing now is we're asking it to just do this upgrade and make sure that it's using the ACE framework for it. And we start out by getting a bunch of errors here. That's a bit surprising. Why is that? Okay, let's see. For requested. You haven't granted. Oh, bloody hell. Let me just. What went wrong here? Because normally it should ask for permissions. Let's just try to copy this one and restart it. I wonder if we have any clients connected to this one by accident. That could explain quite a lot. Okay, let's just try this over again and see what happens. Okay, so now things are running. We just turned on the allow all. It seems that I have a bug here that we need to fix. So let's just go back here and create a ticket for that. Okay. So you see, you can have multiple work streams running here. We could start a new work stream within this app, but we're not going to. We're just going to see what it's doing here. But you can see it's already started to create the artifacts. So we can now go back to the task documents, and you'll see the artifacts coming in here. So we have the different documents. Again, this is very similar to what you saw previously where we used the MCP server for it. The difference is now that we have created an app for integrated experience. And so the whole purpose here is for us to build out a system so we get all of this content, so we get all of this context nicely arranged in a way that the agent can easily figure out what it needs to do, when it needs to do it. And this is basically a continuation of the previous work we have been doing. We are still in the process of refining this such that this part will work really well. And then the next part after that will be that we have a vision document. And from that vision document, we need to be able to derive the tickets that informs the work that we will be doing. Now, getting back to this, let's see. Okay. We're going to just approve this without too much thinking about it. One of the other nice things about the new version of OneUp Code is that we have this thing called review. And so what this does is it allows you to review different documents even before you enter or even before you create a PR. And so you can go here, you can make comments on the specific lines, and then you can request changes from the agent directly. And this has the benefit that even before you send things to GitHub, you'll be able to make sure that you have addressed the worst bugs yourself, or you could even do an automated review. This is a feature that I will add eventually, but we're not quite there yet. This is part of the evaluation of the ACE framework. First, we need to get the chaining to work. And so the chaining is all about creating these little segments that I showed in the beginning of the video, where we slowly, gradually are building up our way. Okay, another really neat feature is this. We have inline mermaid support, which means that whenever there is made any design decisions, it writes out a diagram so it's nice and easy for us to understand what is going on and what are the changes we need to make. So you see, it says here, okay, well, actually, wallet has been renamed to keyring, and we have a couple of other changes we need to make. And as usual, it has defined test cases, it's defined requirements, it has a design document. So all of the things that you would really want your agent to produce in order to make sure that it stays focused, that it stays aligned with what it is you're trying to do. Finally, we can go and see the tasks it's created. And so this is a combination of the tasks from the document list, where it basically just creates all of the different tasks that it needs to do. And in just a bit, when we're approving this, it will start building out the tasks one by one. Oh, and it even created a nice diagram here of what we need to do and when we need to do it. So, all right, code migration. Okay, yes, approve. One of the things that I'm really, really happy with around this agent system or agent framework that I've built here is that it provides a much, much nicer developer experience in that it produces these tables and it produces the graphs in such a way that it's super easy to understand what is actually going on. On top of that, you have all the task documents you can examine as you go on. The plan is super clear, and it really helps us getting things done in a much more understandable way. Whereas a lot of times when you're using this from a terminal, you can easily get lost in just looking at text and text diagrams. Right. And we're at the point now where we're doing the actual implementation. And so you can see, like a normal agent, yeah, like normal Claude code or Codex, you can follow what task it's doing. And when it's doing it, there's still something around the order here of the phases where it should start out with this phase, and actually cleanup should probably be the last phase. But it's work in progress. It's still a beta version, and it's not even public yet. But these are some of the features that you'll get in OneUp code. And so this is what we'll be using for building out this concept of Oasis. Let's get back, see what it's doing. Running some bash commands. Okay, we are slowly working our way through the tasks here. Okay, it seems that it's still taking a while to do all the validation of what we actually have here. But I think all in all, you get the overall point here, right? So we're trying to really formalize the process now, making it so it's really repeatable to do a very, very well-defined set of development requirements and following them very, very neatly in a way that we can validate that it was done correctly afterwards. And so with that said, the next step for us will be to start working out the chaining part of this and starting chaining these small pieces of work into a larger vision. I hope you enjoyed the live stream, and if you did, don't forget to follow and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.